In the heart of an ancient, decaying prison, where the walls seemed to whisper secrets of the past, a new inmate arrived. His name was Jack Sullivan, a man convicted of crimes he didn't commit. As the heavy iron gates clanged shut behind him, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong with this place. The other inmates spoke in hushed tones about the prison's dark history, warning Jack to steer clear of cell 13. They whispered about strange noises, flickering lights, and shadows that moved on their own. Despite his skepticism, Jack couldn't ignore the unease settling in his gut. Days turned into weeks, and Jack began to notice the oddities for himself. The temperature would drop suddenly, his breath visible in the air, and at night he heard distant wails echoing through the stone corridors. Curiosity got the better of him, and one night he decided to investigate cell 13. The cell door creaked open with an eerie groan, revealing a small, dimly lit room. As Jack stepped inside, a chill ran down his spine. The walls were covered in scratches, as if someone had tried desperately to escape. In the corner, he saw a tattered journal. He picked it up and began to read. The journal belonged to a former inmate, Thomas Gray, who had been incarcerated over 50 years ago. Thomas wrote about the warden, a man who performed twisted experiments on the prisoners. The journal detailed how Thomas had discovered the warden's secret laboratory beneath the prison, where he conducted horrific rituals in an attempt to gain immortality. Jack's heart raced as he read the final entry. The warden's spirit is trapped here, feeding off our fear. Beware the night, for that is when he hunts. At that moment, the door slammed shut, and the room was plunged into darkness. Jack fumbled for his flashlight, but it flickered and died. Panic set in as he heard footsteps approaching from the hallway. A cold hand grasped his shoulder, and Jack spun around to see the ghostly figure of the warden, his eyes burning with malevolence. Jack tried to scream, but no sound came out. The warden's grip tightened, and Jack felt his life force being drained away. In his final moments, Jack realized the truth. The warden was using the prisoners' souls to extend his own life, trapping them in the prison for eternity. As his vision faded, he saw the faces of countless other victims, their eyes filled with sorrow and pain. The next morning, the guards found Jack's lifeless body in cell 13, his face frozen in a mask of terror. The other inmates knew what had happened, but they dared not speak of it. The legend of the warden's secret continued, and the prison remained a place of fear and despair. And so, the cycle continued, with new prisoners arriving, unaware of the horrors that awaited them within the walls of the ancient prison.